It's the Play No Games podcast. We the hardest working podcast in Portland, Oregon, man.
Play no
Game.
play no
games
podcast slash show.
okay.
Doesn't work as good over Zoom.
Maybe it was the internet.
Oh my god.
Welcome to the Play No Games podcast slash show. I am one of the hosts, Rob.
I'm the other host, Koss.
And Arthur Dixon.
And we're back at you again with another show as we all try to take you to a higher vibration, whether that is with self-improvement, whether that is with relationships, or that's just you just dealing with social situations. So as we move further into the year, really quick timeout. Am I the only person hearing that echo?
Yes.
I hear like a baby echo.
Okay, that's something I'll do in post-production. Oh, this weekend's gonna be fun. Anywho, 1, 2, 3, we're back. So as we put you on all those higher frequencies and everything else in between, I'm not gonna say, we might have a new little place. They might be building from scratch. So if y'all want us to have a studio for real, help us out with those donations. $, Hero Bob, help me to help the crew, help pay my guys. They're doing this for free out of the goodness of their hearts.
Pay me.
Pay them, don't delay them. So pay me. So with all that being said, I think I'm going to pass this to the homie. He's got someone to introduce.
So I want to introduce this phenomenal person. Not only an outstanding individual, but an amazing dancer on top of that. She's definitely put Portland on her back and stepped outside of the state to show out. The one and only Lyric Branch.
Oh yeah!
Hey everyone.
How you doing?
I'm good.
So we start out all our podcasts the same way. It's just called Play No Games, and it could be positive, it could be negative, it could be something uplifting, but it's something you do not play no games about. So we're gonna start with you. What do you not play no games about?
Well, I do not play no games about having a hobby. Dancing's my hobby. It's been my hobby since I was a little kid. It's more therapy for me. I love doing it. And yeah, I will continue to dance since, from now until the day I die. So.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Super dope. Robert, what you playing no games about?
Yeah, interesting direction. All right.
Yeah.
I will say, what I don't play no games about? I don't play no games about I actually wanted more time. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, damn, hopefully it doesn't come to me because I need to think on something. If I'm being honest, I don't want to play no games about time management. And the reason why I bring up time management is I'll say this. I felt like I had a really good grasp of working on work-life balance. And then the last couple of months said F that. And I'm not gonna say who, but I would say 3 people hit me up and they're like, yo, what's good with you, Rob? And I'm like, you don't be hitting me back. And I'll be like, I'm just like, yo, you don't understand what's going on in my life, but there's an accountability factor that I do want to talk about by communicating to people that I'm like, man, I'm mondo busy. And I'll just say this, the real people understand and work with you when you try to reach out and things like that. So I would say time management on both fronts, people understanding and you actually putting in the work to communicate that you are under stress.
Respect that. Who you cost? We on you.
All right. What do I'm playing no games about today? You know what? I'm actually gonna shout out Zoom. We are on Zoom now. I know it sounds corny, but I am literally on Zoom every day of my life. It is part of my job. It is what I do. Working in sales, so I can work from home. But either way, all my clients are essentially East Coast people, so I'm on Zoom daily. And then because of Zoom, we can have moments like these where we can have guests outside of our local parameters and kind of expand our reach and bring in different mindsets. So I think it's really great, and it's amazing it took a worldwide pandemic to really unlock something as I mean, Zoom was always around, but it really unlocked the potential of it. So yeah, shout out to Zoom. That's what I'm out playing games about.
I respect it.
Arthur, back to you.
Oh, what am I not playing no games about with today? I think today I'm not playing no games with um disrespectful comments. Uh, I think at this point in time, I don't know why I jumped into the NBA, but like there's a point in time where like people earn their flowers, and I think it doesn't matter like sometimes what happens in the present, like being disrespectful to that person is just like out of pocket, and I feel
You're
like a
talking
lot
about
of
Chris Paul.
yeah, absolutely.
God.
Uh, and I just feel like a lot of people, because of like circumstances or him not playing well in the last game, whatever, people just go negative quickly. And I just feel like we don't recognize that that man is also 37, been in the league for plenty of years, and has still made it further than a lot of other teams. So people deserve their flowers, even if it's not the pinnacle of where they should be or where they quote unquote are supposed to be. People should earn their flowers.
I have a comment, Lick. We this was actually very wholesome play no games because usually people have comments about where people are at, and we were kind of quick today. And I actually want to just put my 2 cents on this, and I actually want to use you as an example as you will be
Mm.
talking about your lovely dancing abilities.
Mm.
And what you put in the community. Let's just say, just randomly thrown out there, right? Let's just say you have a connection with Chris Brown. All right,
Okay.
he's a
Uh-huh.
decorated dancer. Can you level with me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So let's say you and Chris Brown are in a competition. You know what I'm saying? And you outdance C Breezy.
Okay.
Okay, right.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So in that moment, Chris Brown's like, "Oh my gosh, I did, I danced with T-Pain, I did this, I got this, and I danced with the Jabberwockies," right?
Okay.
And he brings that up. Is it, I just have a question for you. In that moment, right then and there, is it wrong for you to critique in that competition? You did not dance like you did before, you didn't show up. So is it wrong for you to critique a Chris Brown if he doesn't do what he's supposed to do, dancing wise?
No. I mean, he can have like that whole background and stuff, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, you knew what you came to do, and I mean, just things happen. So if you didn't come prepared, just didn't come prepared.
Wow, things happen, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's better luck next time. So that's how
Oh,
I
Larry,
look at it.
you're playing a song. Yeah, no pun intended. Oh my god.
I think that also goes to a lot though, like right, like when you talk about like being prepared, like
Mhm.
preparedness upon anything when it comes to a job, when it comes to life situations, having kids, whatever the case may be, is like preparedness. Like how prepared are you to own up to something that you should own up to? And if that is that situation of like competing, if that is that situation of making some food or whatever the case may be, how prepared are you to doing that? So yeah.
Yeah, so if Chris Brown had a calf strain, he should have said that before he entered the competition, right? Not
I mean,
after
he
when
just
Lyric.
wasn't prepared. I mean, he got outplayed because he's prepared. He got outdanced by Lyric.
Anyway,
I mean, anything can happen. So
Anything is
talk,
possible.
talk your shit. But that's neither here nor there. But AJ, I'll let you take it away from here.
So we want to tap in with you and get to know you a little bit before we start asking some major questions. So who is Lyric? Let us know. Who are you?
Well, I was born and raised in Portland, Oregon. Um, I am a branch, so my branch family is known out in Portland, and not always in a good way. So, just growing up, I had, that pressure of like kind of doing better and stuff, but that's also something I wanted to do. I wanted to be an example for my family and like my cousins and stuff, a good example. Um, so I started with like activities, which is dancing. Dancing has been in my life like since I was like little, right? So almost 20 years since I've been professionally dancing. Started off African dance, with, well now known Sebe Khan, used to be Kukatonin. Then I danced with SEI, did urban arts, danced with Kimba Shannon. She was based out in New York. And a couple other really well-known professionals. And then, yeah, I mean, that's just the way I express myself. I couldn't get through college without it. I tried 1 year, just going straight for nursing, not dancing, and I was flunking all my classes. The college professor in the nursing class, he was like, if you don't have an A or a B right now, you might as well quit all of nursing. So it just led me to minor dance education, and actually got my degree in healthcare administration and mental health and wellness. I wanted to create a business where I use dance as therapy. So for elderly people, I wanted to use like tap dance. I know they can't, some people can't stand up and do it. You can sit down and still tap dance. For autistic children, that's still a way of expression, right? So, ballet, yoga, anything like that. So that's really why I went in and got the degrees I got. And yeah, I mean, like right now, currently, like I'm dancing, I'm here, I moved to Arizona, for a change, also just to get to know myself a little more. Also, just to reach out to the community, get more opportunities out here, and also share back at home in Portland. So yeah, that's me.
Dope.
Go ahead, Robert.
Okay, that's fair.
I
I
thought
was
you
gonna
were
say what?
I thought you were gonna say something.
No, what she's doing and what she's putting out into the universe is dope. So I just wanted to make sure that she definitely heard me. But since I am speaking, Lyric, one of the questions I have for you is you kind of detailed how you got into dancing, which I appreciated. I just want to ask because what a lot of people don't know about me is not sometimes, still a tennis player at heart. That's what I play. And I know that the route to becoming a professional tennis player is like you have to get like sponsorships, like you have to like do it. And like it's a pathway that's different from when people look at sports. So when people get that label and title of a professional dancer, what do you have to do to get that? Is there a certificate? So how do you become a professional label dancer?
Well, so you don't have to be going to like LA or anything like that. I know I get a lot of those questions like, how come you haven't been in LA to audition for things and you're not on tour, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. Well, it's 2022. There's other ways of, socializing with people and everything. Back in Portland, like I am known as a professional dancer. It's like majority of the time I'm gonna get booked for things, even if it's like little Nike gigs on the side and stuff. I've been booked before with Nike. So like it's still a huge thing for me. But it's just like the little things you do make a huge impact on everyone else. Even here in Arizona, like as soon as I got out here, I've been booked. I've been getting booked for, backup dancing for artists, local artists here. I just got booked for a 2 Chainz concert for one of the artists I just performed for. So Jada Pink, shout out to her. She's pretty cool. So that was like actually one of the first music videos I did out here in Phoenix. And then now we're performing as like opening act for 2 Chainz. So pretty excited about that. But honestly, like, I just think that whatever you do, like, if you're confident, you know what you're doing, and you've been educated by the right people, you should be able to consider yourself as a professional. And it's just how you handle yourself, how you uphold yourself, right? You have to view yourself in a certain way, just to be that way. Like, yeah, like, okay, like, I could be out in LA just working, you know what I mean, trying to audition for, Chris Brown and everyone. But, sometimes that's just not where I want to give my energy to. I'd rather be local in certain places and stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna work my day, work one day out that way, but that's not like my main goal in life. So
Okay, all right. So, what was it like when you got that very first check? You was like, you was like, cut the funds. I ain't shaking this tail feather for nothing.
I actually was let me think. Like high school I used to get paid for gigs here and there. College, I never got paid in college. I did more of like, okay, like let me get my foot out the door, let me introduce myself to Arizona and the community. Then back in Portland, I know some people already and stuff, but it was more like working around networking with other dancers there. So really, like, I would say my first big check would have been with Nike.
Ooh.
Big check was with Nike. Have I always gotten paid? Yes, I get paid for gigs and stuff. It just depends. But also, if you notice, like the dancers and stuff, kind of are going through things where we don't get paid enough for our work. So it really depends. So there's gigs I've gotten no pay. There's gigs I've gotten probably like $100, $50. It all really depends. It depends on the person. Depends on what we're doing, and it depends on how that's going to make me look. Right? I mean, now I get paid. The only time I do something free is like what was it? We did for like the Phoenix Suns recently. We did their halftime show. I did that for free, right? Because I think that was gonna be a cool experience. First of all, I was gonna be on TV also. You know what I mean? So stuff like that, like I know I'm gonna like, okay, I'm gonna appreciate this experience. I'll do for free. But if it's for like a music video, like if it's someone that I know that's like just a friend and they're not that good, not a good rapper like that. If you want to be in like lingerie and shaking my butt in the hotel room, we're not doing that. I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? Like I rather do like these classes and stuff. You know what I mean? Like I like to be sexy but classy, right? You know what I mean? Especially like now that I'm an adult and stuff, you have to carry yourself a certain way because some people look at things. You know what I mean? Like you're not on. Let me see. Like I love city girls. You're not on their level though, right? That's how I look at me, right? In reality, who am I trying to give my attention to, or like who am I trying to have look up to me, right? So there's a certain, taste and things, stuff like that, and I don't care if you pay me $1,000 or just like Nike paid me for me to be in your music video, right? It's how do I look and how's it going to look and what's being projected? What are your like lyrics about? That's very important to me. So yeah.
So you talked about a few different things. The first thing you talked about is just the underpayment of dancers. Kind of talk more into that, like express your emotional feeling or your feeling towards that.
Yeah. So I went to LA back in 2019. So I went to LA in 2019 just to take some heel classes and stuff and just kind of get the experience. I noticed a lot of, the basics of professional dancers. They have an agency. Sometimes you don't need an agency, but a lot of dancers do have agencies they go through. And usually the agencies will send out, okay, go audition here. When dancers are auditioning, that's free. That audition could be 8 hours or 10 hours. They're not getting paid. You're not getting paid for auditions. You're not getting paid for how long those auditions are. You know what I mean? So, and that person can be like, yes, thank you, or no, thank you. Right? They can cut you then and there, or they can cut you later, or they can just call up those people who they pick. So, it's LA. professional. And it makes sense. That's usually how it goes. You're not going to get paid unless you're booked.
Oh.
Now, I know tour-wise, I know people get paid good enough for tours and stuff, but realistically, I'm not on tour, right? I'm not on tour. I'm here locally, working with local individuals. So you have to think about those who are trying to get their career started with music and stuff sometimes. You know, so based off of them, okay, and realistically, like, what all can I afford? Okay, I want this many dancers. Okay, what are they charging? So also the dancer is the one that's supposed to be like, okay, to book me, this is my prices, right? Choreography, someone might charge, okay, I charge $150 for my choreography, but that's it. Hiring dancers is different, right? Depending on how many practices you have, like, that could be, okay, well, we need studio space. You got to rent out studio space for how many hours though? How many days?
Yeah.
So that's coming out of some people's pockets if you don't know the owners of studios and stuff, like, hey, like, I need to use this space or anything like that. So I used to dance for Vega Dance Lab. I used to teach dance there, and I can use their space for free because I'm an instructor. Some places you're not an instructor, okay, we don't know you, you got to book. It's like $15 an hour or $45 an hour. It varies. So,
That's a
yeah, it comes a lot to it. And then also you have to think about some, like, and I've recently, like, there's like artists that are like talking about they don't care about dancers' health and stuff too. So if you're on someone's set and you know, mess up, as in like you mess up your body or anything, you're injured, okay. Some artists won't care. Some do. Some like, okay, like, let's, you know what I mean? Like, let's make sure you're good. Some contracts might not show that. Or, you know what I mean? It just really depends. It really depends on who you work with, their personality, what they're willing to offer. I've worked with artists that were like, okay, like, your hair, makeup, I'm paying for all that. Costumes, I'm paying for all that. Some artists don't do that. Local ones do not do that. Like, what's in your closet? We have to go through our closet to see what's in our closet sometimes. Or, okay, I gotta go buy this. I gotta buy a top. That's coming out of my check that I'm getting paid for. That's not much.
So at this time, do you want to name drop all of the great artists that do all the nice things and all the, like, the problematic ones? Because we want to spread this awareness. Dancers unionize.
I'm not 100% sure. I did see, I forgot the dancer's name, but they were talking about Doja Cat auditions. It was like some type of audition process. I don't remember the full story, but I know Doja Cat was someone that was problematic for some of the dancers. But
allegedly,
Huh,
but keep going. Allegedly,
Doja Cat, huh?
allegedly.
Yeah.
No comment.
But also, but you see also, like, there's like the artist is like Chris Brown. He has the same dancers with him. So you see, like, a lot of the artists that's an example, like Chris Brown. He's definitely probably taking care of his dancers really good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has the same ones all the time. They work with him really well, and it really just based off the energy you're giving to them and they're giving back, right? So, yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of like the two artists I would go, you know, side by side. But also, like, I mean, that was like the one thing I heard about Doja Cat. I know she has some of the same dancers too, which I think, I don't know, but I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, you had made a comment a little bit earlier about how, you know, you may not necessarily work with some of the local artists, depending on how you've heard, you know, the way they treat other dancers. How deep is your kind of venting process when someone sends you like an email to your business email with like an offer for, you know, a dancing gig?
Oh, okay. So, funny thing is, those artists don't send me an email. They'll DM me on my Instagram. You know, some I'll look, okay, like, if you DM me on my Instagram, that's fine too. I'll look on your page, figure out your music and stuff. Like, okay, like, I'll look just based off of their Instagram page because you messaged me off there for a reason. So let me get to know you. Okay. And I'm like, okay, well, send me the song. Let me listen to the song. And what is your idea? Right? What do you need? Are you needing multiple dancers, or, you know, do you not? Or do you need a video girl? Like, what are you looking for, right? So I mean, I had one person recently like DM me, really good friend of mine, and he said he was willing to pay and stuff, but it was the ideas, and with his ideas of like, okay, hotel room, and how you should just wear this and wear like a masquerade mask, and I'm like, I just didn't DM him back. Love him, but I'm like, that's not what I'm trying to put out there like that.
Yeah.
That's just so basic. I've worked with an artist, Rio Wilson. He'll be popping out soon and stuff like that. But I've worked with him since 2019. He's a really good friend of mine. I actually did his video shoot. He flew me out to LA and I did a video shoot for him too. So it was really fun and worth it. But he was very professional. Like, he's DMing off of Instagram, but very professional about everything. I met him in person first before doing any work with him. Professional about his business and stuff. R&B singer, right? And his music is on point. It ain't like, demeaning like women in general. It's never that, it's very respectful. It's R&B. It's like, it reminds me of like early 2000s R&B, right? So I love that type of vibe and stuff. So I'm willing to do that. And I'm really like a heels dancer now. So like, okay, cute. I can be sexy, but grown at it, look good, classy, perfect. But that hotel room scenes, and I'm just trying to dodge all that. I don't care how much I'm getting paid.
Okay.
You know what? I'll be the problematic one of the group. I got questions. So if the city girls is like, about to throw a bag at you, and there's like, we need you in the hotel with 3 masks on, or would you do that? City girls.
Okay, so city girls, it's different. They're females,
Okay.
right? So usually we're like, I don't know if I'm not trying to cuss on here.
You can cuss on here.
Okay. So they're like, we're bad bitches and stuff. Like, okay, bad bitches get money. Love that. But if it's like a man sitting here like, yeah, bitch done did X, Y, and Z with me, all this other stuff, like, I don't want to be that. I twerk for city girls.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, that actually makes me think. I had another question for you, but that actually makes me want to switch it up. So, because I think a lot of people get the word dancer misconstrued, and it's such a catch-all. How is it to deal with, and you don't have to just exclusively talk about like males, but like, what are some of the stigmas that you get when it comes to telling people your profession of dancing and how people treat you?
Yeah. So good question. So, what was it? Like, an example would be like, so in college, I used to be asked like, oh, like, what do you do? I like, oh, like, I dance on the side. Like, I like to dance, especially at my old job. I worked at a fast food restaurant, and the manager was like, oh, like, what do you do? I was like, oh, I dance on the side, right? And he's like, oh, okay, well, let me know like what clubs you work at. So I always have to say I am a professional dancer, and some reason it clicks to people when I say I'm a professional dancer. They're like, oh, okay, like, okay, so like, like who do you dance for or anything like that. But anytime I say like I dance, they go straight to thinking like I'm at the strip club dancing, which is nothing wrong with that. I support women that do that, of course. I just what I mean, it is professional too. It can be professional, technically, in a way, right? It's the job. But that's not the type of dancing I do, right? I just do strictly like I perform, I backup dance, I teach, I choreograph, I almost lost track of the question.
It's okay. Because I just want to just shit on the men. So what about?
I kind of got a tag along with with that before you go shit on the men.
Okay.
So is that part of the reason why you begin to start saying like professional dancer, or was that already in your mindset of saying like professional dancer because people would always
Um, it's somewhat both. It became natural after that. After I was asked like that, it became a natural thing. And like, I'm like, yeah, I am a professional dancer. These are things I've done. You know what I mean? Like I've danced for so Jonte is a well known choreographer. He's in New York now. He was born, or not born, but he used to go to Jefferson, I believe. He used to be in Portland. Danced for Beyonce, choreographed for Beyonce. Recently we did a K-pop group, Skeleton Crew. So what that is, we learn to dance, and of course we're paid, but we learn to dance, we act like we're one of the artists, do the dance, film it, and they send it to Korea, and they learn it off the video. So we did Can't Stop Me by Twice. Twice is a really well-known Korean pop, K-pop group. And so it was him and a couple other choreographers too, which it was really cool, but it was fun seeing, like, I learned some of this dance because we did this, we had to dress up and film it, and they learned from us. So it was a pretty cool experience. But little things like that is very professional. You know what I mean? Like, we're getting paid. This is someone from out of the US, you know what I mean? And someone like him relying on another person, like a mentor, like Durante Lambert. That's like a mentor to me. That's a really good friend of mine's, but really mentor, right? That knows, okay, I got your girls. Send me headshots, send all this, X, Y, Z. I sent that over to them, and then they picked us, right? And then we worked with them. So I'm like, anytime I'm sending out a headshot, then, that's what that is. So
when the bag come, I feel it. When the bag come.
Yep.
Go ahead, Robert.
It's dancing in profession wasn't like dealing with the opposite sex, and I'll even say the cisgendered, male. I can only imagine the type of situations you get in, and I was wondering, how do you navigate that? Do you feel like there's gatekeeping if?
So I navigate like dealing with men, just
yeah.
I mean, I'm dealing, right? I would get something new all the time, or regular stuff. So like, example, if a guy's like interested in me and tries to talk to me, but also wants me to do like a video shoot for them, that's not happening, right? It's like, I don't do business with pleasure. I don't do that at all. Definitely keep that separated. Also, I mean, hopefully your music is good enough for me to work with you, right? And you're paying me well enough, right? Sometimes I get men that'll hit me up like, oh, like, can you teach me how to dance? And right now I'm teaching heels. I'm not gonna teach you how to do hip hop. Like, you can go take some classes where I've been taking classes if you need to. Like, like, I get that all the time. Or like, we're gonna battle. That kind of gets annoying. That kind of gets annoying. Like, okay, like, battle. Yeah. It can be. Sometimes, even in the middle of working with someone, sometimes they're interested in me, and I'm like, no, no thanks. Like, thank you, but no thanks. I just don't even. I don't know how to describe it, but sometimes it's like that. But also, there are really good like artists and like directors and stuff that are really good to work with, and I trust. And yeah, like, I wouldn't like throw shade to all of them, but some of them, yes.
And I think the last bit of the conversation, and one thing I'll take into the second half of our show, which I find it very interesting. But one of the things I kind of want to ask you that I had saved is, recently, I think you guys got to help me out. His name's Alfonso. It's Carlton. What's his name? Right, Carlton. What's his name?
Oh man.
Alfonso, you're muted.
Alfonso Rochelle?
Yeah, him.
Is it Rochelle?
Hey, I don't want to disrespect him. He might come slap me like Will Smith slapped Chris Tucker. I mean, Chris Rock. There you go. There we go.
Wow.
No, Lyric, you alluded to this. You were talking about how people just want to like dance battle you. And recently, Alfonso Ribeiro.
Ribeiro.
Very
I know it started with an R. I know it started with an R, but hey.
So you were talking about how people just come up to you and be like, yeah, let's dance battle. And he was talking about how people come up to him and be like, yeah, do the Carlton.
I feel him. Like, I get it. You know, that's just like your family. Like, if you're really talented at something or good at something, it's like your family. Like, oh, go ahead and you go show some dance moves. They're like, do you think I feel like dancing? Like, I want to eat like everyone else is eating. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, I just walk through the door. I'm trying to sit down and can I say hi? Like, it's stuff like that. So I definitely feel him.
Yeah, to kind of go off of that a little bit, do you find competitive dance to be like a sport?
It depends. Yes, I could see it. Yes, because there are dance competitions. You will win money prize, right? And yeah, it is definitely like a sport. There are competitions. I used to be a part of well, I used to be a part of a group when I was a kid, which I mean, I really wouldn't say like I learned anything from them or anything, but like I used to do competitions with them, and it was like it was cool and stuff. But then I'm like, oh, that's not the type of dancing like I want to do and stuff. I don't want to be in competitions and stuff like that. But there are people I know that are like, you know, adults and stuff that do that, and you know, they do that for a living. Sometimes some people survive off of, you know, winning competition stuff, competition money and stuff. So I feel like it's definitely, if you look at it that way, it can be a sport. It just depends.
Yeah.
So, kind of a bigger question. Compare Portland dance market to Arizona dance market. Which one is better? And which one do you feel like you enjoy more? Ooh, yes, ma'am.
That is so hard. I would say, well, I enjoy both. There's a few reasons. I enjoy both because I mean they're both completely different. I mean it's the same but different, right? So Portland, the dance community, we do have a dance community for sure. It is small, but it is growing. It's now currently growing. We don't, if you notice, like we don't really have video shoots like that, like people recording in classes and stuff. Like I recently just did one just because I'm like, okay, this is what we do a lot in Arizona. A lot of people, okay, like class gonna be filmed professionally tonight. You know, come dressed up, come dressy and stuff. Portland, you're not about to come dressy in the cold. You're about to come in some sweats. I don't care if I'm wearing heels or not. I'm about to wear some sweats. I'm about to wear this t-shirt. And that's something I'm trying to bring to Portland. It's like, okay, like it's okay to dress up for class. Like make yourself feel good. You know, you dance differently when you dress up for class. You move differently. Your confidence is built differently. Coming dressed up for class. Now, opportunities, I would say they could be about equal, but they could be. But like, I mean, what's the huge difference? I mean, backup dancing for artists here, I would get booked more here than I would in Portland. Anything in Portland, like it'd probably like either like Nike or a big group thing or stuff, you know what I mean? That's kind of like, you know, I have to sign NDAs and stuff like that back in Portland. Like here, just more like local artists, like, okay, like I need this many backup dancers. I work with currently I work with Jensai Russell. I met Jensai in college, but a lot of the work I've been doing I've been getting booked through Jensai a lot of the times. But that's how my name's been kind of being, you know, out there too. They're like, okay, like this girl just moved here and now she's getting booked everywhere. But in Portland, everyone knows everyone. You're not really gonna get booked, you know what I mean, a lot because there's not really a lot of artists in Portland that do book backup dancers or dancers for their video shoots that are local in Portland. Right. I think we have some amazing artists out there. And, you know, I feel like dance can spice things up for those artists. They just don't use anyone really. Not a lot of them. Not a lot of them. And I would say what else is different? Yeah, like the classes. I mean, like there's a lot of heels instructors here than there is in Portland. Portland, I can count on my one hand how many people I would go to for heels class, right? And that all matters to me, right? Because I'm not going to sit here and teach a certain style if I don't know, I wasn't trained in, right? Portland, we have like Latia. She teaches heels. She has her own company, Work Dance Crew. Jasmine Thomas, amazing. She teaches heels too, but she also went and trained in LA and New York. Paula's a good, very good instructor. That's actually someone I went to first when I first started heels. Out here, like it was Cisco. I would mainly go to for heels class, and then that was like the biggest person I would go to. Now I just go for fun, go support friends. But there's a lot of teachers out here that teach heels. I'm gonna teach a class out here soon, but it's gonna be a little different. No one knows it just yet, but I'll let y'all know what it is. So the class I'm teaching is gonna be called Love Language, for the bedroom.
Oh,
So
okay.
we don't have classes like that, right? So it's just like, okay, like I'm gonna teach you choreo you can take to your man, your girl, or you know, whoever you're dating, right? Or if you want it just for yourself and you want to look in the mirror at yourself and like, okay, let me work on this dance routine just because, you know, I wanna provide that, you know, that space for women. And out here they have like so many heels class stuff, but I'm like, okay, but what about something I really can take home? What can I really take home and do in the room that I sleep in? Right? So that's something I'm gonna bring out here in Arizona, and you know, definitely gonna bring out to Portland. But yeah, so we'll see how that goes.
No, super dope, super dope.
That is real. That is really dope to hear, and I can't wait for you to do it. Hopefully, you're uberly proud of that because when you said that, I had a reaction, and it was like a good reaction because the holistic. Because I was really keying in on your words of like people being okay with themselves and taking whatever they need to take to their partners. And I was on Instagram and there's this like cycling dude and like everyone's like hyped on him. And he was like, I got a fun date idea for everybody. Go to the ATM, take out $200, get some ones and take it back to your partner and then strip. And then you know what you could do? Pick up that money,
Right.
put it back into the bank. and the reason and that made me think of that is because I think everyone thinks when it comes to like dates or just like truly loving themselves, they think they have to like, you know, not saying that you teaching this, but you know, I've been some places where like when you go to these classes, they expect you to twist, flip it, and reverse it, you know, for someone else, you know, and it's for just for what you need. So I just want to say with that, I feel like that's really dope.
Yeah, and it's gonna be therapeutic in a way, right? Anytime I go to a dance class, I'm a whole new person. I was recently dating someone, and I would send him videos of my dances. Every time I did a dance class, I sent it to him. He like, where is this lyric at? Right? Like, no, but I get it because I become a whole new person in class than I am in person. And like I seem very shy to a lot of people sometimes. And like in class, like it's different. Like, okay, like I'm feeling myself, I'm cute, you know, let me get a little quick video and, you know, show this other side of me, right? And it's fun. It's very therapeutic. And actually, like I'm starting to kind of express myself as that person, you know, especially living alone now and like just being out on my own and learning from other people and stuff. Like I'm starting to be able to show that side of me, my confident side of me. So like I do want to help others to, you know what I mean, build that confidence. You know, no matter like, you know, your shape, your size, it doesn't matter, you know, if you got the splits or not. I honestly do not have the splits. I be lying. So it don't matter. It don't matter. But you know what I mean? Like I want to make sure you feel confident in your body and how you move, and you have to listen to your body and know like, okay, like this doesn't make me feel good, but this does. Um and I actually be making people look really good. Like I just want to help boost people's self-esteem, like just like I help myself. Like why not?
Mm. Oh, hey, I feel like this is the perfect time to, with the last 10 minutes, to do what the people came to see. And we always save it for the end, because in our current day and age, talking about relationships, talking about toxicity, that's what really gets the clicks and views, not the stuff we were just talking about. It because people, they're gonna skip to this part because we have a woman on the show. So like
Definitely hard. You know what I mean? Like a lot of women are like very independent. I'm independent too, but I also been learning like, okay, like I'm gonna give this guy a chance to kind of like show me, like, you know what I mean, like what is he bringing to the table, right? Um for us, I think on both sides, like we have to learn to be patient with each other. And that, meaning like, understanding like, okay, what does this person like? Some people like to receive things and some people like to give, right? I would say like I'm really more of a giver. I give things. If you know what I mean, like if you wanted something, like I'll give it to you. Um, I show basically my appreciation, right? Um, but also there are those that don't show their appreciation, but they do in the slightest way. So just being patient is like very hard on both ends, I feel like. I dated men that they were giving me things back, right? They'll give me things back in return, or anything like that. Some I wouldn't get nothing, right? But knowledge sometimes. So I can say like I've gained knowledge from especially like the last guy I dated, gained a lot of knowledge from him, and I really appreciate him. And we'll still be friends till this day. But communication was very off with a lot of things. Like I express myself differently than he does, and he's super blunt with things, and I'm not that blunt, right? And I felt like I could have been more patient to sit there and think about, okay, like let me register what was said instead of react quick. So, doing more of like being patient, listening to the other person and their needs, taking it in for a second, but also, you know what I mean, still taking care of yourself. Like, okay, like, but this is what I need. Staying firm with that, but also like, okay, like, all right, like let me just go do this. They just want flowers for today. Let me go give them flowers for the day, right? Or like just being spontaneous. Communication is key. Also, like a man can't read our minds, ladies. Trust me, like there's times I haven't said nothing and I'll be pissed off, right? Pissed off at the guy. I'm like, like this, like I don't like this. Like you didn't, you know what I mean? You didn't listen to me, but it's like, when did I really tell that person that I didn't like that, right? So definitely communicate.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
My question to you is like, how does nowadays dating or what is your rating on like nowadays dating? Like kind of tapped into a little bit, but I like, what is your rating on it? Like
sucks. It sucks to me. Everything's online a lot of the times. I do not anyone I date, I do not date off of online. I've met you in person. Like I went on one online date and it was cool. Like I went on a date with him. It was like the day before my birthday. I was turning 24. Day before my birthday, like, I was like, okay, cool. Like, cool. We went to a bar. He met my cousin too. I was like, okay, cool. So we went out, did pool and stuff, but then he started doing too much. And I'm like, okay, this is way too much. And then the next date, he wanted me to go to his house. And I was like, well, I'm not going to anyone's house because I don't know you like that still, right? We're still getting to know each other, at least respect this. And he didn't. So that was that one time experience. Not doing that again. So I just rather, if I meet you in a neutral place, I feel like it's better and it means more to me than online dating does, or like online meeting someone off of my Instagram. If you meet me off my Instagram, you have a less chance with dating me. Like, I don't even know what you would need to do for you to have a chance. Like, I just don't believe it. You know what I mean? Because we all put up a front online at some point. We do, right? I posted things and stuff and knowing dang well I ain't got the money like that to be out here on someone's boat like kicking in with my girls. Like, I ain't got the money like that. But you know what I mean? Like, and everyone holds this like, okay, like, yeah, I do all this and this is all something that I do, but really in reality, like, what are you struggling with? Like, what are you going through the day-to-day basis, right? And not everyone knows that. So like, I just rather meet you naturally, like either like I meet you at a grocery store, not the club. That's another thing. I'm not taking you seriously if we're at the club and you're trying to get to know me at the club and talk to me. You can buy my drink.
Whoa! What?
But I don't want the questions. Oh, what's your favorite color? I can't hear you.
Wow, you can hear that drink.
You want a drink? Okay, I got you. Yeah, okay. You get my name. And you notice, like, a lot of people at the club, they like, okay, like, what's your Instagram? They go straight to what's your Instagram. They go straight to your Instagram. And then from then, I never speak to anyone again. Usually I meet someone at the club, I let them have my Instagram, and then I never speak to them again unless I run into them at the club again. But I would not take them seriously.
So I'm curious. You mentioned the grocery store, and I hear a lot of girls say that. But as someone who goes, to the grocery store, what would you want a guy to tell you if he wants to talk to you at the grocery store? What you say is like a great pickup line for a guy going, to the grocery store?
I wouldn't. That's hard.
Because I hear a lot of girls say that, and I think it's easy to say, but from a guy perspective, I'm like, you're looking at food.
Like a real life experience. It wasn't even the grocery store. It was at Kia the Kia. Actually, this was recently at the Kia
dealership.
Yep, dealership. There you go. Kia dealership. I take my car in. I'm like, okay, I got to get these things fixed. All right, so roommate's gonna come pick me up. Cool. So I went in there, dropped the car off, and then this guy, he comes up, and he's actually a car seller. Like, he sells cars. So he was there. He just rolled up, and I was like, okay, like, he's cute. I like how he's dressing and stuff. But I didn't think he was going to talk to me. I'm on the phone with my mom, and he just like, hey, like, so like, you need a new car or something? I was like, oh no, I'm getting my car fixed. And he's like, oh, okay. He's like, so which one's your car? And I was like, okay, I'm guessing it's gonna be a whole conversation. So I'm like, okay, mom, let me call you right back. So I hang up, and then we started talking about the cars, and then it led into, okay, like, you move from where? Oh, okay. And then it just kind of is a natural thing, right? But also, he looked good. And it's the looks too. So I was like, okay, this is a plus. This is a first time. It's a plus. And roommate that rolled up on me with her boyfriend. He like, okay, wow, like, you pimping. I'm like, first of all, I'm not. I'm just dating. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just dating. I'm single still, but also I'm working on me. So.
Cos, excellent question, Cos. I have a question for you, and I don't want you to be monolithic. And by all means, hopefully you don't feel like you're being monolithic. That's why we say some women, not all women, all this other stuff. But like, currently, just from your vantage point, do you think when it comes to female or woman culture, do you feel like the standards of they're asking for are too high currently right now? Do you feel like it's unrealistic, or it is exactly what women should be getting?
Good question. I feel like I've dated men with different perspectives, right? I've dated one that, like, ideally, right, realistically thinks that I should be there for him even if he fucks up. Right? I've had mess ups with him too, don't get me wrong, but he feel like because I had mess ups and he has mess ups, we should still make things work. And really, in reality, I'm like, well, there's you know what I mean, there has to be a reason why we're messing up on both ends, right? So we're not ready. For it depends. Everyone's mindset's differently. Women feel like, you know what I mean, like we've done so much, we do a lot. When we really do, we have to, you know what I mean, like sometimes impress men just with our looks already, right? That makeup, the okay, I gotta go get, you know, my eyebrows waxed, all this other stuff, like blah blah blah. That's a lot, right? Some women feel like they have to be very independent, right? They're like, okay, like if what a man has to think about me or what he says and stuff, like I'm gonna get to the bag. Either that's dancing or I'm more focused on my job. You know what I mean? I'm about to make sure I'm, you know, ahead like a healthcare administrator of this hospital, right? And that's consistently working. Some women, you know, men, of course, some men's like, okay, like, well, if she can't cook, right? But I'm like, okay, but realistically, like, what's the reason why she's not cooking a lot, right? Does she have to take care of someone else but herself? You know what I mean? Maybe she don't like to cook like that. Just like some men don't like to do dishes or change their sheets. Okay, so let's be realistically, like, you know what I mean, like, but like honestly, but like there's a lot. I feel like it depends because we're in a new era where some men think certain things are okay, some men don't. You know what I mean? I test that stuff out, right? I still have my beliefs and my morals and stuff, and I'm gonna do whatever I believe in, regardless. If we're dating and you're like, I don't like this. Now if it's harming you, then yes. Yes. But
is really quick. So is Will Smith wrong or right?
For what?
No, I'm just playing. For the slap. I was gonna ask you about the slap.
Okay. That's hard. Cause I mean, if Jada was to have his back and stuff, I feel like he felt like I don't know if he felt like he had support in that. At least, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know. I have no comment. I have no comment on that. But I just feel like, you know, it just really depends. We do have a high standard, but also to uphold and stuff, but sometimes we really don't, you know what I mean? Like, it depends on who you are trying to, you know, what is it do I want to say? It's really, okay, like it's who you're trying to impress or whatever. I wouldn't say really impress, right? But it's who you're doing it for. You know, are you doing it for yourself or you care about what the other person think? And it's like, okay, well, because I was in situations where I'm like, I care about what he thinks, so let me not do this. Like, let me not, okay, let me do this. But really at the end of the day, like, his opinion didn't matter because he's not here. So at the end of the day, and then when another man loved those things, I'm like, okay, I have an idea of doing this. You know what I mean? Like, I want to do this, I want to do that. He'd be like, hey, you know, you like it, I love it. That's all, you know, that's something I like, you know what I mean? That support.
Yeah.
But there's men that are like, okay, but what if, you know, they go off of their friends' relationships and marriages and stuff. Like, oh, like my friends they're married and stuff and have kids and his wife don't do this. Okay, well, I'm not his wife. So if you're looking for that, you gotta go somewhere else. You know? It really depends on the person. I feel like there's someone for everyone, and you know, I just think it's a give or take. I think like a lot of women do feel like they have to hold this standard and stuff, even for family wise, right? You know, like in my family, like I wouldn't say I was sheltered, but like I am looked up to a lot by a lot of my cousins and stuff, like little cousins and stuff. But you know, as we get older, I'm like, okay, well, cool. Like this, you know, my cousins are doing, you know, their thing and stuff. Like I look at them, I'm like, okay, like that's cool. Like I really want to do that too. We support everyone, regardless of what you're going through, what you're doing. As long as you're getting it, you find you're healthy, you know. So I just think it just really depends.
All right.
I got one question for you. Probably,
Mhm.
what's your thought on the stay-at-home dad?
I don't think that's an issue.
Mm.
I don't think that's an issue. I feel like if it has to be agreement on both ends, right? If the mom is like, I definitely love working. I love going into work. I love handling my business. That is their number one support kids and everything, like, you know what I mean? And doing things at home he wants to do. Why not? Why can't he be a stay-at-home dad? You do have single fathers that have full custody of their kids and stuff, and actually working too. You know what I mean? But I don't see nothing wrong with a stay-at-home dad at all.
Okay. Doc, you got anything, my man?
Yeah, kind of circle it back, family wise, and bringing it back to dance as well. I don't know if you plan to have children in the future, but I'm curious, kind of bringing in that dance mom aspect as well. I know you probably maybe watched the show.
Mhm.
Is that something, if you have children, you'd want to put them into dance? Do you think that's good for them? What you learned growing up through doing dance?
Um, I wouldn't force them to do just dance. I'll just let them kind of pick naturally what they like to do. So let them explore their options. I would say, like, my mom, being raised by a full blown teenager, she didn't have the mindset she does now than what she did when, we were little, right? So you're talking about someone that's in their early 20s, and you have like an 8-year-old, right? That's trying to figure out what she likes to do and stuff like that. And a 9-year-old trying to figure out what he likes to do and stuff. So it's like, really, like, when I got to like my mom's age and stuff, I'm like, dang, like, I don't think I was able to handle like kids at this age. You know what I mean? Like, what? So like right now I'm 26. Sorry, mom, putting your business out there. My mom had me at 15. She had my brother at 14. So think about it. Like, I'm 26. My mom had my little sister at 26. 26 with a 10-year-old, 11-year-old, 10-year-old, and then a new baby, right? Your head is everywhere. So it's not really like, okay, like, oh, like, like, let's do this and stuff. She didn't really have time to explore those options with us. We figured it out on our own, like me and my brother did. And then we helped our little sister figure out what she liked to do. She modeled for Nike when she was like in middle school, started modeling for them, acting, singing. Now she's a cheerleader for Jefferson. She just made the team. I was a cheerleader my freshman year, but now she's a cheerleader, so go Kobe. But it's more of like I want them to grow into like knowing what they like to do, and I'm very supportive. So if my child wants to go play guitars and stuff, my mom supported me, and now I want to play the guitar. She like, all right, we gonna do it. I told her, she's like, do you want to model? I was like, sure. I went down the modeling thing. They said, what do you want to do? She's like, do you want to model? I said, no, I want to be a princess. She supported me. We did all that, and she's like, well, I still support you, but I just feel like it's important for them to grow their own way and stuff. I don't want to force my kids to ever into that.
Awesome.
Well, I'll just say this. Lyric, appreciate you so much for coming onto the show long distance and being our very first long distance guest and working with us, working with me. So I want to say thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This is really exciting, and first interview, y'all, like on podcasts and stuff. Or yeah. This is
Let's go. Many more to come. Guaranteed.
Exactly. Well, hopefully we're setting the bar high. You're like, I was on that other podcast. It was more fun. So hopefully that's the case. But everyone, this is our first live and direct podcast, long distance. If you like what we're doing, please follow us on all socials.
Hold up. Slow down. lace us with your
Oh,
social
wow.
so we can get a hold of you. You gotta let the people know how they can find you.
Okay, so my Instagram name is lyric_Renee, RANEA. So people might think it says lyric Renee. So yeah, so please follow me on Instagram. You know, if you need me to dance and perform for you, you can hit me up on Instagram or through my booking email that's on my Instagram. So yeah.
There it is.
Thank you, AJ.
Always have to do it. I have to because you always be skipping.
Bro, hey, this is why I have all of you, because mile a minute. But yes, please follow her, all her socials. She's forever stamped guest. We hope to have you back on, and more things that we'll talk about. And like I was saying, if y'all like us, please follow us on all our socials: Instagram, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We have some dope things coming. Before we go, any church announcements from the crew? That's what I was thinking. So stop that. So, Koss, any church announcements? AJ, any church announcements before we go?
Koss?
Hit subscribe, hit like, follow us on Spotify, all your platforms. Listen wherever you listen to your podcast. And thank you, Lyric, for hopping on. We really appreciate it.
Sunday night, I'll be cooking again. Vegan food. Don't know the recipe yet. Well, we'll be letting you know. Brace yourself, Oregon, on the Instagram. You will see
short rib.
Short rib. Vegan short ribs.
Please.
Oh, okay. Let me figure out how to do that. I got you, Koss.
Okay.
Follow us on Instagram. Brace yourself, Oregon.
Hey, this has been the Play No Games podcast with the lovely Lyric.
Peace.
Bye.
Probably wondering if I think of you. Sorry, I'm for the bag right now. Yeah, I'm for the bag right now. Yeah, for the bag that I never had. Yeah, you probably mad right now. Yeah, I got a 2-piece now. Shit, I think they call them groupies now.